Hi guys. All right. So last night I posted a very small clip on my Instagram about out of my longer video from YouTube about the fact that I think that in the Western culture, modern culture, we are scared of our kids. Obviously that's but there's heaps of thought behind that and a much deeper, richer thought. And I boiled it down to a tiny 23-second clip. Don't mean to hurt or offend anybody with that thought, although I think that it's okay to be offended by thoughts and then let them sit with you and then go, what's hurting there? And so for me, it was that I had Scout and I couldn't let go of that hustle culture that we have all embedded ourselves into. And when she was 3 months old, I applied to go to film school and I got in, which was wild. I didn't expect to get in, or I don't know, but it was kind of definitely not an ideal time to go and do that, except that it was perfect for me and it was exactly what I needed, and I needed that courage of having her to apply. And so at 9 months old, I put her into the care of my mother-in-law, her grandmother. She was meant to go into daycare as well 1 day a week, but COVID broke out, so that didn't happen. So she was with my mum and stepdad 1 day a week, and my mother-in-law 2 or 3 days a week, and then me 1 day a week or something, and then the weekend. And I found that time quite confronting because I was still hustle, and I felt like the time with the child was really dead time and really what am I doing? And my brain was scattered and I just couldn't settle into child time. And now I can really see that, and I'm I totally was scared of being with my child. I did not know how to do it. Nothing in my life had prepared me to be a mother, to be in child time or in housekeeping time or anything that is not hustle, important emails, being really busy and all of that. So I started saying things like, I need to work to be a better mom. I need, to work a couple of days a week. I need to be out of the house a couple of days a week to be a better mom. I need, that kind of classic. We all need time away from our kids to be a better mom. That's definite. But what I started to realize was that all these other women around me were saying exactly the same line. And that's when I went, I don't think this is a unique thought in the way that I thought it was a unique thought. I think it's how our culture has dealt with. None of us have aunties and uncles and other siblings having children around us, so we're not brought up around children necessarily. I'm sure there's going to be heaps of people who I have been, but it's not the standard when you've got the nuclear family, 2 kids in a house. It's just not standard to be brought up with a thriving home culture. And so I've been reading recently, and this thought started a lot earlier, but I've recently been reading Hunt, Gather, Parent, and that has really nailed down this idea for me where in modern Western culture we have siloed ourselves, we are not around families, we don't understand how to be around children. So when I say we are scared of our children, I really mean it. I think that we don't know how to be around them because we haven't been taught it, we haven't been modeled it. We've got very little. A lot of people, the first time they hold a baby, it's their own baby, at the hospital. So that should say something that we don't know how to be around children. So I was having all these thoughts, thinking, I'm really unique. I'm just I just have to work, because that makes me feel better. And then I can be a really fantastic mom as well, And I can't remember if I've opened up about this on here, but basically we came and moved to the Central Coast, and it forced me to take a step back from the hustle culture and inadvertently forced me to be with my kids 100% of the time, because there actually just isn't childcare up here that's available quickly and easily, because there's so many people moving up from Sydney. There's huge pressure on the childcare system, and as a result it's being in Bondi, and it's a 5-year wait for most daycares. So I was thrown into full-time mothering, and it was a really awkward growing growth time for me, where I was very not happy about that for a little while. And now I see it as a really great blessing that I was given this time that I almost had taken from me, because I almost hustled my way through my children's young lives. And so that's kind of wild. So that's kind of a bit more in depth about what I mean when I say we're scared of our children. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody and saying, oh no, I'm better. I'm just saying I was scared. I didn't know how to be present and stable. I'm still learning. I am so far away from really zen-ness around the kids, but I am learning, and I'm actively trying to break away from that line and going, no, that's a line that we've been sold because we don't know how to be with kids. Again, I'm not saying you're a bad parent if you buy this line. I'm talking really deep, meaty ideas. We all love our kids. I know that. I believe that you love your kids. I love my kids. That doesn't mean that we aren't part of a culture that is living and breathing and doing other things, larger forces around us. So I just challenge you to really dig into the lines that culture sells us. I think I'll leave it there tonight. There's so many other thoughts to have. Somebody did ask a question on my Instagram about more information about homeschooling. So, do we get government support? As I understand it, at the moment in Australia, while we have lots of different government benefits, supports for lots of different situations in life, homeschooling is not one of them. There is no value in homeschooling your kids. I don't understand why. I don't understand how you're not taking pressure off the public system but basically it's not valued monetarily by the government. So yes, when people say I can't afford to homeschool, obviously I don't know everybody's personal details. Overwhelmingly, what I hear when I listen to podcasts and Instagrams from people who are already in the flow of homeschooling is that most people are taking a pay hit, and they are choosing to live cheaply, sacrificing lots of different things so that they can homeschool. It's a real misunderstanding to think it's just for rich people who can afford to just swan around not working. What I see is a lot of women and men who are hustling their asses off. It's a funny word because I'm talking about hustle culture. They're just scrimping and saving and, eating cheaply and making their own food and doing all those things, not going on holidays and all those things because they value the homeschooling. Again, I'm not calling you a bad parent if you don't want to homeschool and you don't want to take that pay cut. Each to their own. I'm just saying that's what we've chosen for now. Also, I'm an artist and I wasn't earning particularly well anyway, so I don't know. I'm being silly. Obviously, I could have hustled and kept going, but at the moment, I'm just kind of going, it's just how it fell into place for us, and the choices we made. And we have been living on the breadline for a long time because Eli was an apprentice and I had to work. I was working part-time last year, and we decided to not pick that up again intentionally so that I can homeschool. It's hard. It means we can't go back to see Eli's family as often, all different kinds of things. But homeschooling is not for rich people, and I haven't met many rich people who homeschool, or almost any, I don't think. So yes, if anybody wants to petition the government for more homeschooling support, that would be awesome. But that's where we're at the moment in Australia, as I understand it. All right, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.